What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games B.S., part of Dead Media Group, special night edition because it's crazy out here in the streets. Got a lot of different stuff going. Winding down the end of the sixth annual Big Games community give back weekend here in Jacksonville, Florida. Saturday morning, Long Branch Elementary School, 9 until supplies run out. And then Sunday at Mandarin High School, we have our we have our we have everything that we have our football camp that's going to be put on by different coaches in the area, as well as our student athletes, different things of that nature. So we've been doing a media blitz. We'll be talking a little bit more about different recaps from the past weekend. So if you know people who are in need, you'll be able to share what's going on with that as football season is in full swing. We've got high school started. We've got Pop Warner that started. We've got the NFL that started. FSU officially started practice today. Most colleges are starting as well. All kinds of different things going on. Stay tuned to Big Games BS and a lot of the different things that we have coming up this college football season. We'll have as we're trying to clean up the network or the YouTube. We'll have different things that are going on that are going to make stuff better. Just talked to my guy, Tiny Hat. I like the name of this show. Let me see if he put it up here. He put it in there, like a show called Y'all Wildin' or For Real Wildin' or something like that. Like we're basically gonna just have a show where it's an hour of us just talking off the dome. Topics ranging from sports and all these different things, but just funny, just saying random shit, stuff like that. Got some high school roundups, got some other different things going on that I personally like. And just as we try to continue to grow the brand and do more different things in that area. So on that note, but we're gonna start the show off the same way we start our show off each and every day, with a good word of prayer.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Nobody wanna thank you, God. Thank you, God. Go.
All right, Jaden, what we got going on today?
Welcome to the evening edition of Big Games BS here on Wednesday, July 30th. This is your first time here at the show. Welcome. And it's called Big Games BS because we bring the good, the bad, and the BS of the sports world, especially football, to your screens. So we're going to start off our show first with our MFTK segment, recapping some of the film and footage from the community give back this past weekend in Tallahassee, while also talking about some more dates as well. Then we have a high school segment topic before we get into some NCAA. Starting out with FSU, we have some football and basketball news to touch on while we finish our college segment regarding Deion Sanders. Next, we're going to transition from college to the big leagues, the NFL. We're going to start off with the home team, the Jaguars, as training camp progresses and move on to an NIL note in the league, while mentioning the hottest topics in sports right now, such as the Madden 26 ratings. And finally, we will conclude our show with our Big Games BS segment, where we bring the scope of the conversation outside of the typical football world, but still in the sports and popular culture world. And we have some exciting segments to talk about, just like Cam Newton clapping back at Gilly. So let's, get into the show as we discuss the community give back weekend, this upcoming weekend in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, man, we got we just had some really good things that happened with the one in Jacksonville. Still trying to raise funds. You can go to James Coleman, or you can go to mftkfoundation.com/donate or money sign MFTK36 if you are looking to donate money. But shout out to Bank of America coming in and providing the school supplies for about 150 bags. That is really, really cool that they did that. And shout out to so for those who are volunteering, we got food for you, dog. We got food. We got Chick-fil-A. I can't call them the stepped on chicken right now. But Chick-fil-A is coming through. They've been trying to figure out ways to be a part of the nonprofit. They wanted to help. Anytime we got hungry, she's like, anytime you got hungry kids, let her know. And she gonna let it go. So they're gonna give us food for the book bag drive. And for the food for the volunteers for the book bag drive, and then we'll have flame broiler for the football camp. So we should have plenty of food there for the kiddos to be able to partake in different things that we need, man. It's still a struggle, still very aggravating with some of the stuff that I have to go through with all of this stuff, but hey, we're at the end of it. We're not gonna cry. We're not gonna complain. We're gonna keep our chin up, chest out. That's how we're gonna do all of this, man. So I do appreciate everybody for what they pitched in and making this good. If you can guys give it one real quick retweet, so that we get more people finding out about stuff, and it would be even better, man.
So it looks like you got a segment on WCTV when you did your football camp this past Sunday in Tallahassee, and I got the video right here on their account. So I want to play this for the fans of the show to see the football camp, your perspective on it, and some insight on what the community give back is all about.
Former Florida State football standout and NFL player James Coleman was in town to give back to his home community. Coleman, who also went to Florida High, welcomed kids ages 6 to 16 to the grass at FAMU DRS on Sunday morning to work on skills and conditioning in this late July heat. Coleman spoke on the importance of this kind of training.
Everybody wants to play in front of 85,000 and score the touchdowns and do those different things. But very few people realize you got to work out in 100-degree heat more often than not. So I want them to understand, fall in love with the discipline of working out. A couple of these kids' parents made some mutants, and it's fun to see them, and they're having a good time. I went to a camp like this when I was 7, and that let me know that this was possible. So hopefully in 20 years, somebody will be doing their own community give backs and say they got their start at the James Coleman football camp.
Well, on Saturday, Coleman hosted his 6th annual backpack giveaway and food distribution at Bond Elementary to kick off his community give back weekend. And in a cool moment, Coleman himself got honored with a proclamation from Tallahassee's Mayor Daley to recognize him for the work and commitment he's given to the community. Coleman shared how much that event has meant to him.
Oh man, the drive went crazy. Again, for the 6th year in a row, shutting down Bond community, man. People having big smiles on their faces, getting bags, getting fed, being blessed. I mean, I think we gave away. I had 1,200 bags here, so I think we gave away about just over 1,000, and then we donated some to some other organizations as well. That's the highlight of my summer. Dope. And it's always good to see my mom on the news. We'll be on the local news, I think, tomorrow morning. News for Jax. First Coast News will be on Saturday. I don't really know who else will be on with, but it's all good, man. At this point, we're just trying to move these packs. So appreciate everybody for the support as we're winding down.
We have a high school topic to touch on, and especially if you are a fan of high school athletics, especially high school football, you will know and want to raise awareness to the big pay gaps between Georgia and high school football programs. And Georgia has recently taken high school football up a notch with Buford High School's $62 million football stadium. Yes, this is a high school. This is not a college. This is Buford High School in Georgia. So it has 10,000 seats, 15 luxury suites, 3,500 square foot video scoreboard, and 2-story field house with locker rooms. And we have some pictures courtesy of Joe Pompliano right here of this new $62 million stadium.
Yeah, man. Great. I mean, Georgia does it right, man. So it's about it's a bunch of schools that are just like that in that area that just, you know, what are you gonna do? Like I'm sitting here, I can't wait tomorrow to brag about what we're doing at Mandarin with our locker room. But like, if I'm being for real, like, you know, it was like that was like 40,000. Then they go and do this shit, and like it's like, you know, what the fuck are we gonna do, man? Like, but one thing about Buford High School, I found this out from one of my teammates. That's where PK Sam went, but I was, you know, closer to Lauren. One day I'm gonna shake up the world and I'm gonna do a PK Sam interview. And but they call it the 3 A's, academics, athletics, and art. So they really put a focus in doing those things for all of their athletes. So pretty big deal. Kudos to them. The state of Florida has the lot. Like we should demand more of our politicians. The lottery is supposed to go to academics. Like, people gamble like a motherfucker. I can promise you, they're not putting that money into academics like they're supposed to. Like, coaches should get paid more, just as much as some of these facilities should be a lot better, like out the gate. But what I think you're going to see is it is an attack on public schools, and you're going to see people shift more to charter schools or privates, and the charter schools are going to be where the next generation of elites come out of, because they have more control over their facilities.
I see a lot of people on Twitter, especially the Floridian high school coaches or anyone involved in that realm, talking about what you said, James, the state of high school football in Florida. So it was very interesting to see Georgia step it up a notch with that new stadium. But shout out to Buford High School, and somebody in the chat, Charles, reiterated what you said about the library is also elite. So like you said, those 3 A's are very, very, very fitting. So we're going to move on from high school to the next step, NCAA, with that being college football. So, James, like you previously stated at the beginning of the show, excuse me, practice started today. And for anybody who was wondering, FSU is shutting down media access to practice this season outside of their first practice, which was today, where there will be a brief viewing opportunity. The Seminoles will hold 2 scrimmages, August 5th and August 10th, ahead of their season opener against Alabama. And this is from Logan B. Robinson. Got a chance to see him at the Combine as well. So, James, with the first practice day today, I wanted to highlight a specific player just to give them some props ahead of this college season, and that will be our running back, Mr. Usman Chroma, man. A lot of people from what I've been seeing online in the FSU football community say they were surprised with his size, skill, and speed. And according to Logan, he said that Norvell mentioned him as a player that has potential to make an early impact. So I just wanted to highlight him. And we got this short clip right here of him.
Let's see if this is a clip of anything.
That's pretty much the clip.
He looks like James Wilder Jr. He doesn't look as bow-legged right here. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Like when he was running, like I could literally see like a base. Oh man. Hey, listen, as long as he Hey, as long as he's doing well, I mean, hey, I care less about it. But I mean, kudos to football season. I know the media is mad. They are hot. No, Mike Norvell has no media access. I'm gonna try to go next Saturday to the scrimmage. I got to be back on Sunday, but I want to go check them out. They'll be here next week, so I know I'll be at the practices next week. So, um, like I've always wondered, like, it's really weird because, like, I want to be snotty and sly, but like in a joking way, like, cause they like made sure I knew, hey, we did not supposed to be at practice, so like, we not. I'm like, bitch, I covered the Jaguars. I happen to talk about FSU a little bit, but like not a lot of it. Y'all don't treat me like media, so like, why are we worried about me now? But I'm gonna start telling them, hey, we don't let coaches come to our games and stuff like that. Like, if you like, what if I like again? Like, I am not like them. Like, stop trying to be like that, man. Like, 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 don't none of them have access to the top wide receiver in the class of 2028. Don't none of them have access to some of the kids that I have. Don't you think part of the problem is maybe y'all should include me more? But I don't really necessarily want to be included more unless you paying me money. It's not I gotta keep trying to tell you, it's not my job to recruit for them. Now, if a kid come and ask, hey, I'm gonna get it. But like, yeah, media adjacent. Like, I'm no different. You know what? This is the wild part. So if Danny Cannell comes to FSU's practice, Danny Cannell is not a beat writer for FSU, but if he comes to FSU's practice and then he does a CBS sports shit, do you think Danny Cannell's not going to talk a little bit about what he saw at practice? Brian McFadden, my guy, B-Mac will probably talk a little bit about it. Like, and you know what we're going to do? We're fucking smart enough not to say, oh, they look shitty. If they suck, you know what I'm just, to be honest with you, people know, if I say something nice, it's going to be explosive. If I don't say anything, it's going to scare people. But the last practice I went to, I didn't really see much. So, but I plan on seeing them. And, but I'm here for it. I think I have a strangely decent feeling about it. But here's what I do know. I don't know much about the damn game, but I know the tailgate's going to be lit. So I do know that.
So we talked about some FSU football. Now let's talk about a basketball post that has been very, very well for Mr. Luke Laux, first-year head coach. So Luke Laux and Florida State have landed a 4-star 7-footer Marcise Ponder to start the 2026 class. He is a top 100 player. He's listed at 7 feet tall, 328 pounds, man. Whew. The
Big boy, can he kick slide?
I don't know, but he can dunk it from what I've seen on Twitter. So he, man, is a force. Like the caption said, top 100 player. And man, the Laux era is starting to begin. Now I'm just waiting for that season to start, but I feel like Laux is off to a good start as his first year for FSU. So shout out to him and shout out to Ponder for committing to the Seminoles. Now, James, I sent you and Miles this video a couple days ago in the chat regarding Deion Sanders. So he recently revealed the health scare he was dealing with, and then he had a press conference to kind of explain that in more detail. But first, let's go back to where he officially, some would say, broke the news to the internet with him and Carucci. So they were in the hospital while Deion discussed the surgery, the procedure in which he had to get for his sickness. So let's dive into this quick video right here before we get into what he said in his press conference.
We are here to fully remove the bladder.
Texting the boys. It's their first day of practice today, and I'm excited. It's kind of the first day that.
So just to reiterate what they said, that he had to get surgery to have his bladder removed. He did have bladder cancer. That's what the doctors and him verified. And this is him at the press conference to just him. This is him at the press conference describing the situation that recently occurred. And man, before we get into that, James, this video was going around social media because they weren't expecting him to pop out with Carucci, man. Were you surprised to see this video at first too?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Got a little more respect for him. Still fuck Deion, but like, goddamn, I can't hate on this shit. What a way to make a soft opening. Like, we over here like I'm gonna beat Deion is really good at this because Carucci's my age, right? Maybe a little younger. Deion's damn near 60. She could be his daughter. And yet you can't judge him because he's got bladder cancer. What better way to be a ON than this? And Carucci, most famously known for being I think isn't she Chris Brown's baby mama or one of the Chris Brown, one of the girls who's been with Chris Brown.
Oh, okay. We're the same age. She has my same birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. They started dating in February 20 per the greatest device of all time, which will probably end up killing us all one day, ChatGPT. It appears that Deion Sanders, 57-year-old former NFL star and current University of Colorado football coach, and model/actress Carucci Tran have become romantically linked, though neither have explicitly confirmed a relationship. Early in 2025 is when the rumors first started. Deion and Carucci Tran were spotted holding hands during a lunch in Los Angeles, fueling early romance speculation. Reports suggest that they met through a mutual connection, including a project produced by Sanders' ex-fiancée, Tracy Edmonds. She set him up. Usher made a song about that. Before anyone came between us, you were like my best friend, the one I used to talk to. But me and my girl were having problems. In July 2025, emotional support amid cancer battle. Sanders underwent bladder removal surgery in May 2025 after being diagnosed with aggressive bladder cancer around mid-April. Tran appeared in an emotional video series titled For Your Glory Part 1, produced by Deion Jr., where she is seen tearfully at his bedside explaining the surgery and holding his hand as he was wheeled into the operating room. Since both are not confirmed a romantic relationship, her presence has largely been interpreted as a sign of deep personal bond and possibly beyond friendship. Deion's ex-wife, Carolyn Chambers, reportedly supports their relationship. The emotional hospital footage and holding hands sightings have stirred speculation that they may be a couple. They even have a timeline. It's crazy. ChatGPT does a lot, but yeah, good for him, man. Keep yourself. Yeah, I heard an old lady tell me this when I was a long time ago. I think I was 24, 25 at the post office, and it was a long line, and for whatever reason, everybody was pretty chatty that day. She said, "You're only as young as the person that's splitting you in two."
Wow.
And so I guess it's got to be the other way around. She's keeping them young and fresh.
Oh yeah.
I'm
glad he's okay.
But that's what I'm more glad about. And I'm glad it's working. Because bladder cancer, it's a lot of stuff going on in that area.
Right.
The blood flow is still going there. shout out to Dion.
I mean, is there going to be competition coaching, being on the sideline?
Well, he's back now, but he's coaching with with missing toes and everything. Like Dion's gonna figure it out. Bigger than that, Dion is. Dion was on. Was it Pivot or was it? It was before Pivot. I think it had to be on I Am Athlete. And Dion was giving these boys game on how to keep a woman happy. And that bitch left him with Tracy Edmonds. And then now it's just like the last person I'm going to get relationship advice from are Steve Harvey, Deion Sanders, and Shannon Eat Booty Sharp. Like, I'm not taking any advice from any of them unless it's football related for the last two. But like, Tracy Edmonds, boy, when I tell you Tracy Edmonds has like aged gracefully and like she's the anomaly. I don't want women to look at her and think that they're her. Because just so you probably don't, Jaden, do you know who Babyface is?
Yes, come on, man. Come on.
I'm just making sure because that's Babyface. That's Babyface's ex-wife.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, so she went from Babyface. I think she was with Eddie Murphy at one point. She's been with Dion. Like, she's just going like back and forth, man. Like, she is like doing numbers. Like, you don't get you don't get that kind of, you don't get that kind of man just boom, boom, boom. But like, yeah, she's nice. But the only thing that Dion can go to is, he's failing in health and he's lonely. And, he's going and getting him a bad chick, a bad young chick. And this is the graduation. It's either become religious, or you go get you one of these guys that don't want to go too young because it feels weird. But like, this is just right. But I still think it's wild.
You don't want to be alone when you're old.
I mean, you'll never be lonely when you have money.
That's facts.
But I just think that I was happy. I thought that this was wild. At first, I'm glad that Dion is okay. That's the most important thing in all of this.
Right. Is
Dion is okay. But I'm not gonna hold you as his jit. I would be a little bit mad.
What do you mean?
Why is the new chick learning the important
Ooh.
Like if my mom was dating some young dude and the young dude knew about all the stuff and then they hit me with, well, your mom really cares about you and she didn't want you to no, why are you talking? Like that's what I would be like, nah, bitch, shut up.
How long have they been dating?
Like they did February.
Oh wow!
And then somebody tried to say, "Well, I think that's his goddaughter." Like one of the coaches at practice, that was a rumor. I was like, "Dion been famous my whole life, and we have never heard anything about Carucci."
Right.
Now, how would that be his goddaughter? Like, I don't even know who her parents are.
What?
They just saying that's his. Yeah, like that was like they were trying to make it seem like how Jaden Daniels. Like it's not weird how Jaden Daniels and that girl from USC, Juju, be looking at each other, and they're like they cousins. Like kissing cousins, like that's just like that boy looked like he's smitten,
right?
Like if that's his cousin, he's mad that's his cousin. Like he is angry. He's like, God, this is not right. How much cousin are we? Are we first cousins, or are we? I think it's like after the third or fourth is when it's supposed to be. It's straight. You're not gonna have a kid with 3 ears.
So we got a clip from the press conference of Dion's, I would say one of his personal medical assistants, and who's on the Colorado sports medicine staff as well, explaining the details of the incident.
Okay, so as you guys know, Coach has his other health issues, his vascular stuff. So every year, Coach goes for a CT scan of his vascular pattern to make sure, the blood clots are away. So with this scan, everything turned out really great from the vascular side. About 2 weeks later, we get a text from his primary care doctor that said, I need to talk to you and coach. We need to refer you guys to a urologist. So about 3 days later, we go see a urologist. They go in for a quick procedure. The urologist told us, hey, within 10 minutes, I can tell you guys if he's going to need another procedure or if we just need to do these follow-up appointments. And the doctor told us, okay, you guys are going to need another procedure. I'm going to refer you to my colleague,
There's
Dr.
real people in
Kurkasia. But at this point, you have a bladder tumor. And from there, we'll go get it removed. And then Dr. Kurkasia, it was, go ahead.
Yeah, so we proceeded with removal of the bladder tumor. It showed a very aggressive.
Let's go backwards because you guys gave me options that scared me to death.
Oh, well, once we knew.
We'll get there.
I'll
get there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We removed the tumor. It was very high grade, invading through the bladder wall, not into the muscle layer, something we call very high risk, non-muscle invasive bladder cancer. So we did discuss options. We discussed some options of treatment in the bladder, and we discussed bladder removal as well. Given his commitments to his family and to the team, elected to undergo a bladder removal. We performed a full robot-assisted laparoscopic bladder removal and creation of a new bladder. And I am pleased to report that the results from the surgery are that he is cured from the cancer.
Just wanted to give you guys some insight on the process of the tumor that was in his bladder and how that process ended up getting a successful surgery, and he is all safe according to the doc right there. So just wanted to give you guys some insight regarding that. So now we're going to transition to the NFL, and it seems like another person has beat cancer, James, somebody who is affiliated with a Jaguar. So we have Jaguar star Josh Hines Allen. I know what you think about the two last names, James. So he thanked God and announced that his 7-year-old son, Wesley, who had been battling leukemia, is now in complete remission and cancer-free. So Hines Allen said, quote, he's in full remission, back in school, living a 7-year-old life, which is fun and getting in trouble. So this, man, just great news to hear. And man, no 7-year-olds should be battling leukemia, man. That sucks, man. That sucks.
Yeah, man. I'm so grateful for regardless of all the other jokes and stuff, like it's tough when you see your kids go through things like that because they don't have the life experience to be able to grind through that. Like sometimes one of the beautiful things about being in athletics is like you've done some tough stuff. So like when you, like I was telling people, I always tell people like I knew or I figured I could get through COVID when I had it because of mat drills, or I had gone through things that were tougher than that, or just as tough. But like, ain't shit a 7-year-old going through that's that tough, you know. It also reminds me of one of my friends, Reggie. His son actually I think had cancer in early in life, like when he was like a baby, and just to see the way he looks now, like he's actually a really good soccer player. Like his story is nephew's story is going to be so amazing. He's the same age as Trey. I think he's 1 grade behind though, but like they're around the same age. And it's when I've listened to him talk about it, and it gained a whole new respect for me of him as a man. How do you go through that? And I'm grateful that Josh son is doing well, and he's gonna be able to get into all kinds of nefarious things that little 7-year-olds do, the little harmless fun, dumb fun. But yeah, kudos to him. Fuck cancer. It's easy. I don't need to say all cancers matter to say it, like, but fuck that cancer. Like it's tough.
From one Jaguar to another, we have a quick video clip to highlight and shout out, and that is from former FSU cornerback Jarian Jones showing the league why FSU is DBU. So we have a quick clip right here from the Jacksonville Jaguars, 9-second clip of Jarian Jones locking up and snagging an INT against one of the best new wide receivers in the league, Brian Thomas Jr.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Jerry, again, that's another DB, much like AZ, that I have no idea why he was drafted as late as he was drafted. I'm grateful, but he's very, very talented corner, especially in man coverage. It just goes back to what that team did. With going undefeated, like you realize they gave up 4 passing touchdowns all year before that bowl. Like that's insane. And then people complained about the defense, like which is even more insane. But kudos to him.
Shout out to JJ Jarian Jones, and hopefully this season you can get your lick back from getting reverse hurdled, and I think you will for sure. I'm loving what I see in training camp in this video so far, but huge shout out to the NIL Jarian Jones and putting on for the DBU. We just talked about an NIL, a null in the league, and James, we have the most funniest null in the league to discuss. I don't know if you saw, but Jameis Winston made an appearance on the Pivot podcast, and we got some clips to discuss. So what we're going to discuss today is Jameis Winston blaming the Madden video game franchise for never winning a Super Bowl in the NFL. So let's see what Jameis had to say to the guys at the Pivot.
I just set my attention to making it. Now, one thing about it, I did win a Heisman on my NCAA. Mm-hmm. I won that, and I won the championship on NCAA. But I've never won a Super Bowl on Madden. Didn't even play Madden like
Ryan
that.
wants to laugh so hard.
I never won a Super Bowl on Madden. I didn't even go through like creating my player on Madden in the season. Never did. Not creating like my store, my franchise. I never even did that. And honestly, I feel like somehow they correlate. It don't work like that to other people, but I feel like I'm a visionary. So I feel like if I would have just won a few more Super Bowls in Madden, or even won one, I had one.
What do you think about James? You think Jameis could have had a chance to win a Super Bowl with any of the teams he's been on?
He's so funny, like for no reason, dog. Like Jameis is just like, because you could go back again, because like I'm just like he had all of us
Right.
in there, like we were glued. Like what? Oh my God, he's about to give us something profound. And I just really think that like he is your uncle at the family reunion. That you like, man, this dude crazy, dog. I love Uncle Jameis. Like if I would have just won more. But somehow that makes sense. Like I don't remember playing a year of park ball, but I found the picture of the one year I played for Country Club. I know I played flag football for Country Club, but I never remember playing tackle. But on that team, William Gay was on that team. Antonio Cromartie was on that team. I think Gavin was on that team. The amount of Division I football players and pros on this team is crazy. And we didn't beat Walker Ford, apparently, or some shit like that, which would have been the rivalry. But I never played, but I played Madden. I played NCAA. So when I actually did play football, I did what I saw them do on the video games. So I kind of get what Jameis is saying or trying to say, even if it's wild the way he said it. And the making it funny is that he's dead fucking serious.
Yeah.
Like that's the part that trips me out, is that Jameis is dead fucking serious with all of that, man. That's why you have to love him. You have to love Jameis, dog. Like, there's no way you don't love
Jameis, what a funny guy, and thank you for keeping on supplying us with clips during this NFL offseason. Man, what a funny guy. So let's move on to another quarterback, a 5th rounder that was drafted in this year's draft, Shedeur Sanders. So we have some insight on what Jimmy Haslam, the Browns owner, says regarding the Shedeur pick. So Jimmy Haslam said, quote, "If you would have told me y'all were going to pick Shedeur, I would say that's not happening. Andrew Berry made the call to pick Shedeur." Haslam seems to not have wanted Shedeur from this statement right here, and he's standing on his stance while putting the blame and the pick on Andrew Berry. James, what do you think about the Browns owner, Jimmy Haslam, making these remarks towards his 5th round pickup?
Did he really say that?
That seems ridiculous.
Like, I think, like, we keep, like, people keep adding comments to people, and, like, it don't really be what they said. So, like, if you told me the Bengals owner said this, I'd believe it. I just don't want to believe he's that, like, nobody is that unprofessional, right? Like you said, if I would have known that was what they were going to pick, I would have told him no. Like, I just have a hard time believing that. But if he did say that, that's wild. That's crazy. And I have no idea what to believe about what's going on with the Browns. Like, people have said, oh, Shedeur is like outperforming everybody. And then I hear he's not getting any reps. And then I hear today that he went like 7 for 7 against the ones or some shit like that. Just wake me up when the 53-man roster is here and Shedeur made it.
I've been hearing a lot of news as well, and I think I heard something similar with that 100% completion percentage either today or sometime earlier this week. But yeah, if this is true, Yahoo Sports posted it, a credible sports website. But man, if this is true, then those are going to be some awkward meetings between the two. But huge shout out to Sanders, man, to Shedeur. Keep doing what you're doing and getting that spot, solidifying that spot on that roster. It's funny how you mentioned Cleveland and Cincinnati in the same sentence, James. It's almost like you read my mind and the show notes, because we have some news regarding Cincinnati's elite pass rusher, Trey Hendrickson. So, according to Adam Schefter, Hendrickson is planning to report to Bengals training camp, and he did so on Wednesday, which is today, ending his holdout without being any closer to a new deal. Per sources, reporting to camp stops the $50,000 per day fine and also serves as a good faith gesture to try to jumpstart negotiations. But Adam Schefter posted this quote earlier today saying that after Trey Hendrickson officially ended his holdout today, he spoke to reporters and summed up the state of negotiations with the Bengals, saying, quote, "Things are exactly the same." And so somebody put this funny picture right here saying this is what Trey Hendrickson said. There's no improvement. Funny meme by Sleeper. But James, he ended the holdout, got back with his team in Cincinnati for training camp, but still awaiting that new contract. But has this getting out of hand, man? Has this gotten too messy? Has it gotten over the top? Is the question that I'm posing to you.
Yeah, he's never siding with them again. Or he's gonna make them overpay. But in the grand scheme of things, it might work out for him. Because he may get paid more if he signs next year. Like, just ball out, you'll get paid more next year. But who knows? Just the Bengals are just all the way going back to Carson Palmer. If I remember. Remember, he was like, he told them, trade me or I'm going to retire. And they were like, he's not going to turn. He's like, I have more money he's like, I have $90 million in my bank account. I do not need this shit. And they ended up having to trade him. And it was like you have to play hardball with them, and he just hasn't made that kind of money yet. So I'm rooting for him though.
I'm rooting for him as well. Huge shout out to Henderson, and I hope you do get your money. And if you did not catch our show on Monday, we informed the fans, the sports world, that they ended up reaching that contract agreement with Shamar Stewart, having that fully guaranteed money. So, man, that defensive line may have gotten officially a new player piece in that, hoping to take off. So let's get into the Madden 2026 rookie ratings. This has fueled a conversation that many in the media were echoing soon after the draft, with that conversation being that Cam Ward is one of, if not the most disrespected number one overall pick in league history. So we're going to get into those details and break that down. But first, let's look at the top 10 rookies in Madden 2026. So our boy, Jacksonville's own Travis Hunter, is the highest rated rookie in Madden 26 for obvious reasons. He clocked in an 84 overall. Ashton Jeanty, the standout Heisman finalist who lost to Travis Hunter from Boise State, is an 83 overall. Abdul Carter from Penn State, 81. You have Mason Graham at 80, Will Campbell 79, Jalen Walker 79, Kenneth Grant 78, Jahdae Barron 78, Mikael Williams 78, and Maxwell Harrison to round out the top 10. And so I know you're wondering, where's the number one pick on this list? So Cam Ward was ranked a 72 overall in his Madden rookie ranking the first out of the QBs right here, over Jackson Dart, Tyler Shador, and Dylan Gabriel. So let's look at the rookie QB Madden ratings over the years. So where did Cam Ward fall? Cam Ward falls right here under Lamar, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Caleb Williams, and Josh Allen with that 72 overall. But he was above some players such as Jalen Hurts, Jackson Dart, Shador, and Brock Purdy. Obviously, Purdy was the Mr. Excuse me, he was the Mr. Irrelevant winner. So, James, do you think this rookie overall rating for Cam Ward is a little bit too low, considering he is the number one pick in this year's NFL draft?
Well, now looking at the other guys, at first I was like, it's kind of disrespectful, but it's kind of on par. In a terrible quarterback draft, he wasn't better than Lamar Jackson. Trevor Lawrence was number one overall. He was only a 78. Caleb Williams was the number one overall, if I remember correctly. He was only a 76. And he's not better than those two. So maybe it's on par. But the cool thing is you get to prove him wrong. Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. And he ended up being the best rookie quarterback in that class. So I like it. I find that, I think that's a good, I think that's good. So, I like providing context to things. I was immediately like, yo, that's mad disrespectful, yo. Like that everybody else in the top 10 is exponentially better than what he is. But I guess when you're also doing quarterback rankings, you have to rank it based upon the degree of difficulty it is to play that position. Now, Travis Hunter is playing 2, so it's a little bit more difficult for him than most people. Ashton Jeanty's job is to run where they ain't and do it fast. So I can see how it'd be easier to rank him higher than it is Cam Ward, who has to be in control of an entire offense. You have to understand the line, like you're blocking. You're in charge of making sure you don't get your ass whooped, right, with the blocking schemes, and you have to know everywhere people are going. And he's trying that dumb shit like that he did in college. Like, did you see the clip a couple days ago? And they're like, Cam Ward, they tried to hype it up like it was a good throw. The bitch had 10 seconds. He was scrambling for his life. If the guy would have dove at him, he's sacked. Like, so I think he'll be fine eventually, but I think he'll have a learning curve. And now that I see that compared to everybody else, I think it's on par.
In Madden, it's easier for them to give you a higher rating as a rookie when you have like high speed or something else
Yeah.
that they can, until you start winning games where they can put your attribute points into like awareness or something where they don't know where to qualify you yet. It's hard to give, quarterbacks without something outstanding about them a high rating.
Yeah. And Charlie Lewis was considered a generational talent coming in.
Right.
And he's a 78.
And he had a what? What was his 40?
4.6, I believe. He's fat. Or did he run the 40? He might not have ran the 40.
Because if they consider him fast.
But they know he's an athlete. He's pretty athletic.
Now, we talked about a quarterback. Let's talk about some quarterbacks and their supporting cast to cap off this NFL segment before we get into our Big Games BS segment. So, James, wanted to ask you, from these 5 quarterbacks right here, which starter has the best supporting cast? Now, I immediately thought it was Philadelphia at first, but these other players, I had to do some real hard thinking. So I wanted to see what you would think as well. So you have Jalen Hurts with Saquon, Brown, Smith, and Goddard. Then you have Jared Goff with Gibbs and also not pictured on this list, Mr. Knuckles himself, Montgomery. Did I say that right? Is Montgomery Knuckles? And he's Sonic? Yeah, okay, right.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so and then you have Gibbs, St. Brown, Williams, and Laporta. Then you have the Vikings, Jones, Jefferson, Addison, and then you have at the tight end Hawkinson. For the Bengals, Brown, Chase, Higgins, Gesicki, and then lastly the Bucks with Irving, Evans, Godwin, and Alton. So James, I know it's between that 1 and 2 spot, but who are you picking for your supporting cast from these players right here?
I mean, shit. I like Burrow, man. I can't go with JJ because I think JJ can fuck up a wet dream, and that's what that supporting cast is basically that. But I don't think JJ can. I don't like him as a quarterback. I still don't understand.
It's supposed to be about the supporting cast. He's so bad.
Yeah, but he's so bad. He makes the supporting. I don't think he can be better. Man, it'd be I mean, the supporting cam, that's crazy. Like shit, you give me another quarterback with them, and I'm afraid. But then I say that, right? And is anybody I remember where I was at. I was at a birthday party for one of Kai's teammates. The Jags played at home. They played the Vikings. The Vikings couldn't score. I think the only one touchdown was scored that game. And a bunch of, I think like they kicked like 4 field goals. And like it just makes absolutely no sense. Like with that, the cat, like that, even they stunk with another quarterback. So I'm gonna go with Goff. I like good running backs. They got 2 really good ones that can both run and catch. Like they're blessed.
Shout out to the Detroit Lions. So that capped off our NFL segment for today. So James, we have a lot of indictments to discuss in our Big Games BS segments. We have indictments and firings on our list. But first things first, let's start out with the firing. So if you guys did not know, ESPN has cut ties with Shannon Sharpe less than 2 weeks after he settled the lawsuit in which his ex-girlfriend accused him of sexual assault. So Sharpe had not been on the network since late April when the lawsuit occurred. He had a settlement. Although the number hasn't been verified, people have been speculating it's in that, I would say 8-figure range. But James, ESPN and Disney finally cut ties with Uncle Shay Shay. Did you expect this to happen, or did you expect him to come back in at ESPN for the football season?
I thought he was going to I didn't think they were gonna like do anything, especially since I mean, it was just embarrassing. But like, he's clearly living his life and doing his network, so he's making his bread. I think he's gonna get picked up by somebody else. What's crazy is NFL Network is being approached by Disney to be bought, but like, I think he'll go to NFL Network. Like, he's gonna get a severance pay. But if Michael Irvin is the best example in all of this. Michael Irvin plays with his nose a little bit, gets fired, goes to another network. All right, so he left Fox. I don't even think he'd go back to Fox because they're struggling now, like with the show that he's on. I mean, with Skip Bayless's show. Like they're having a hard time producing content that people are engaged with. I also think it's got less to do with. I think this situation was more of an excuse. Sometimes they do things to shake stuff up, get cheaper. Stephen A. Smith has been fired numerous times before he got to the position that he was at. So, but I think he's doing so well off, and I think he's got to become more like Cam Newton. So, I think I think Cam Newton's the next guy who's going to have you got to go to Pat McAfee route. And I think Urban is what they call us is the way to go. Like, shit, you give me a couple mil and I'm sitting in the bank. I'm going to start talking real reckless. And, Shannon just got to like lead them little girls. I mean, not even just little girl. Yo, real talk. So me and CJ were talking and he brought up like you had B Nasty ready to do all kinds of crazy things to you. And you walked away from her. And why did Miss B Nasty comment? I said like Miss B Nasty was just talking about her baby daddy on public in the public forum. Why this bitch responded to me? Like, I'm like, you had to be searching your name. I didn't at you. I didn't do anything. I didn't even get into the particulars. I just said women will talk regardless of who it is. It's just hard. It's like, this is why you got to find, I don't know, man. Find you one of them low maintenance. This is why people don't want a bad bitch. Sorry. I don't even think that chick was bad. Yeah. I just think she was nasty. And like, now you retired a whore. Like, it's a lot of other, if you're going to retire whores, like, you could do it a lot cheaper.
I think for once the public opinion seems to agree, or at least they don't really take too much to their side because nobody's really publicly chastising him. Of course, he has to leave ESPN because of the Disney connection, but besides that, it hasn't been a lot of public shame.
Nah, like it's more like jokes. Yeah. Nothing like, oh man, I can never listen to you again.
I don't think people believe that he actually essayed, I guess.
No, I don't know. I mean, most of it, like at this point, most people don't like, I'm sorry, it just sucks. But like a lot of people are starting to become like me. Like I've had enough people that got falsely accused that just don't believe you at first. Like, I have to like, again, there's some people I do believe, but a lot of them I'm just like, all right, I don't believe it. I don't believe that shit. Like this dude right here, first off, I don't believe he's with women. Like, because the way they have to, like, I like telling stories and I like giving examples about stuff. But the way that him and Chad Johnson, all they talk about is fucking.
Yeah, they do a lot.
It like gets especially a little old, bro. Like, okay, we get it. You was wilding. You had the hose. But like, at what point are we just like, what else did we do?
You already know my theory. Too much of a good thing, turn you gay.
Man, I'm be honest with you. I can't talk about it now. I gotta get Shannon Sharp's age before I can start talking about some of these guys. Even in hypotheticals, if I say the hypothetical, they're gonna know who I'm talking about. And I might have to see these Negroes. So like I don't really feel like doing that, right? It's not that I'm afraid, it's just I don't feel like I don't want that to be the shit that I have to fight somebody about. Them being gay. Like, no, you mad at me because you letting dude bust up your backside. Like, that ain't me, but like Shay, and Shay sassy and zesty. Like, we knew it with the like, again, and there's nothing wrong with hiring. Again, I think the best tailors are probably gay. But like, this man, come on, dog. You courtside sitting with you, like, looking like y'all booed up. And then he's made a comment with the girl said she had to pee a little bit or something like that when he was hitting it. And he was like, that's okay, baby. Because, sometimes I be hitting you, you got to be a little bit different to get more than that. And like, you having vaginal, like, you must not be talking about like vaginal. You talking about something else, dog, because that's not natural. Like, if you hitting the vagina, and it just doesn't make sense, dog. Like, a lot of the things he says don't make sense. And I know, but I just think he's gay. Or, well, yeah, because there's no in between with men. You either gay or you straight. Even if you mess with men and women, you still gay. Like, it's no in between. Like, do your thing, man. Like, if that's your thing, let that be your thing.
So him, Joe Johnson, and Ocho Cinco are actually going to go live tonight at 10 p.m. following his firing. So we'll hopefully be seeing some clips of him discussing the process and everything like that on Nightcap. So just wanted to share that with
I hope
you all.
I hope he lights their ass up. Like, go ahead now, like, be controversial. I think the problem is the people who should be controversial don't be controversial.
Speaking of controversial, one of Shannon's colleagues in the sports world, Gilbert Arenas, has been apprehended with 5 other suspects, including a suspected high-level Israeli crime figure. And so they were arrested today on a federal indictment alleging they operated an illegal gambling business in which high-stakes poker games were played at an Encino mansion Arenas owned, according to a statement released by the U.S. Attorney's Office Central District of California. I just want to read you guys some more information per ESPN on this indictment. Okay, so he is charged with 1 count of conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, 1 count of operating an illegal gambling business. They said the same thing. 1 count of conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, 1 count of operating an illegal gambling business, and 1 count of making false statements to federal investigators. He appeared in the U.S. District Court on Wednesday afternoon in downtown LA and was released on a $50,000 bond after pleading not guilty to the charges. His trial is scheduled for September 23rd. So at this point of the case, he is innocent, right? Said his attorney. He has the same right as any other citizen to that presumption, and that's how he should be treated. So he rented out the California mansion, and one of his associates staged a mansion for the poker games, recruited co-conspirators to host, and collected rent from the co-conspirators on Arenas's behalf. So the indictment alleges that Gershman, which was the Israeli suspected high-level member of a crime group, and the other defendants ran an illegal pot limit Omaha poker games, among others, which collected a cut from each pot contested. Prosecutors say that the group hired chefs, valets, and armed security guards to staff the games, as well as young women who served drinks, provided massages, and offered companionship to the poker players in exchange for tips, and that the co-conspirators took a cut of the servers' tips from the game. So if Arenas and the other defendants are convicted and found guilty, they face a statutory maximum sentence of 5 years in federal prison for each count. So, James, man, Gilbert caught up in the mess. And I know he was, because I'm a fan of his podcast, he was going to make a more long-term switch to ESPN. So, man, looks like him and Shannon aren't going to be at ESPN anytime soon.
And Gil was so good. So I just want to make sure I'm processing this right. Now, minus the Israeli guy. Like that seems pretty bad. Probably shouldn't be hanging out with those guys. He lives in LA, hanging out with Israel. Clearly, he's never watched Snowfall. Like, you probably don't want to hang out with those guys. The main character, like the guy who he was getting his plug from, was Israeli. So, I'll say this. One of my favorite shows is the Bernie Mac show. Also, I used to watch It was part of Roseanne too. One of those things growing up, the guys' night, like when the guys hung out on TV shows, what they do? They play cards. They're gambling. But most of these guys are normal, everyday, hardworking, blue blood Americans. You know what they can't do? They can only bet so much. So it might be $200 here, $200 there. That's high stakes to a person who's a thousandaire. Multi-millionaires could probably play $50,000 poker games like it's fun. And that's considered high stakes because they're not broke. So what you're telling me is I can't invite 10 of my friends, because guess what happens when you're a millionaire? You tend to not hang out with brokies, right? Well, I mean, outside of some of my friends, I do have some millionaire friends, and luckily they hang out with me. But they're not going to call me to go play poker at their house. He's going to call his rich friends, hey, man, you got money. Shaq, you got money. This person got money. I got money. Let's go play for some money. And I remember when I was hanging out, we would do a 10% house fee. And, the winner takes all or whatever you take, but you do a 10% house fee. And you know why? It wasn't because they're trying to be a gambling organization. We're using their beautiful home. We're running up their electricity. And you know what the house provides when you're playing? Snacks and entertainment. And it makes you want to do it even more. So I don't really see this as if I can't gamble, if the house, I can't do what I want to do in my home.
They're armed guards.
Because it's rich people. If I'm dude, if this ever pops off, two things you'll know is if James wins the lottery or gets rich. I'm not telling anybody, but there will be signs. I'm no longer driving myself anywhere. I will always have a driver. I'll still coach football, but somebody's dropping me off. And your ass is going to stay in the car for when I'm ready to leave. It's their job is to transport me or my family to and fro. And I'm going to, and there's going to be people in suits following me everywhere with the earpieces so that, and then my goal is to start shit for them to finish. One of the funniest things is Whack 100 talked about them trying to roll up on 50 Cent and they thought they had him by himself. And then he said 50 Cent had the fucking Navy SEALs surround them. And then he just smiled and laughed. Because you're playing the goon game. I'm rich, bitch. So we've all seen The Wire. Omar was able to get in and rob Marlo because they ain't have good security. So I'm just saying, you gotta have a little bit of people there. This is what my guy Corey Fuller got jammed with a few years ago. Now, it was pastors were they gambling and shit like that? Nonviolent crime. Do I want him to do 5 years for this? Do we not have better shit that we could be doing?
What about? Oh no, I don't want him to go to jail at all. But it's just funny. I mean, that's an illegal gambling ring. They have
a gambling ring. Are they? If it's multiple houses doing this,
it's the.
I would say some other names that in Jacksonville that do this, but I don't want to feel like I'm snitching, man. We're not we're just playing. We like playing poker.
Massages and women.
Hey,
And
man.
tipping.
If it ain't tipping if you got it. Or whatever they say. Like, man, like who doesn't want to be around in the press? Like, even the poker room, when you go to the poker room, they have women in like little with their little showing some skin. They got women massaging you. There ain't no male masseuses in the poker room.
I don't know. Who wants that?
And the female dealers get tipped more than the male dealers. I'm sorry. You want to call it misogynist? I call it equality or something like that. Like, I call it preferences. Like that's that. I would go and hang out just to get the massages. I wouldn't spend my money on the gambling. But like, hey, just I don't know, man. Like I just think we prosecuting the wrong shit.
I hope he doesn't get anything too heavy for it. I would expect some sort of fine, but
give him a fine, right. Pay that, slap on the wrist, learn your lesson. Yeah.
Whew, speaking of learning your lesson, hopefully Gilly the Kid learned his lesson with this clapback from Cam Newton. So this back and forth started because Cam Newton said Jalen Hurts isn't a top 10 quarterback. And then he kind of dissed a lot of the media members who took personal shots at Cam Newton, one of them being Philadelphia rapper Gilly the Kid, also co-host of the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast with his cousin Wallow. So Gilly, from that thumbnail video you see at the bottom, Gilly had a response for Cam, and this is Cam's response to Gilly. So let's get into what Cam had to say.
Jalen Hurts did what you couldn't do. That was win a Super Bowl.
There will not be no playing with my name, with my career. This is all entertainment here.
Hey, shut your tight jean wearing ass up, man. You had on a jersey with a bow tie, you corny ass nigga. You will never be able to with Jalen Hurts, nigga. You super goofy, corny ass nigga.
I know why you in your feelings, Gilly. Was it the album comment? Can you name me one Gilly the Kid album? Did you know his album was Philadelphia?
That kind of struck a nerve.
Where I'm from, Gilly, we stab and we twist. Wise words was told to me. They say, when you go low, I go to hell. So let's bring up your actual facts and your actual stats. When I'm looking at your rap career, Gilly did not chart any solo singles on the Billboard Hot 100. Philadelphia didn't do no numbers? Dang. Former member of Major Figures, bass rap group late 90s and early 2000s. You ain't never been great at nothing. The only great thing that Gilly does, he's a great mascot. Big hat, dancing around, yeah, getting them going. Mascot, very questionable career. We can't relate on a lot of things, Gilly. And if it wasn't for Wallow, all credibility on $1 Million Worth of Game will be really at question because he has a wisdom about him. Wallow, that is. I respect it, and I also respect you. But respectfully, brother, we cannot relate. While you're dancing on the sideline, I was in the game. Please understand, when I said your name, most people didn't know who you were. They said, who is that? Now, you know the dude that be walking around with his big old hat. Oh, that dude. Man, don't take him serious. That's the narrative about you, guy. You can't beat me in nothing. And I mean nothing. That's basketball, that's football, that's baseball, that's rock, paper, scissors, that's chess, that's checkers, that's tennis, that's golf. All I'm asking for is respect. But just be mindful how you use and you talk about me. But I'm rooting for you. I'm going to subscribe to $1 Million Worth of Game. I will be looking for your repeated response. And this is my challenge to you. Try to refrain from using the N-word in every sentence. Use your nouns and your verbs and adjectives, brother. Not just every word being a curse word.
Corny ass nigga.
Like, Gilly's got some nerve to call somebody corny. Brother, you look like Schmeagol. And you are a mascot. Like, he's not lying. But now you've done a great, like, one of the coolest thing about podcasts, right, is that it's allowed rappers that we really don't really remember anything of note that they've done to grow if they're entertaining. Jaden, right now, favorite. Give me your favorite bar or verse from Joe Budden.
I could pump it up.
That's it. Pump it up if you came to get it. Crump it, came to get it. Jay-Z's remix, like to hear Joe Budden talk about what happened with Jay-Z wouldn't give him anything, but Jay-Z went and just hopped on it anyway. Like they wouldn't do it for him to get on the song. He just said, "Bump it. This is what I'm going to do." But his podcast and his podcast network is fire. I don't really like. I like Wallow, but Wallow's kind of like Reverend Run to me, right? Our new age Reverend Run. He's a guy who's been so happy to get out of prison. He's full of wisdom. He's giving bars, right? Gilly bothers me, and I'm not here to tell. Maybe he is a tough guy. You know what? You know who would know? Hold up. Let me see. Funny thing is there's people that I know who would know. Like, he did talk about that jump off part. That jump off was very good advice. Let me see if Cuzzo answer the phone.
Cuzzo.
Hey, Cuzzo, I got a question.
What's that?
When you was running around in Philly, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, damn, I just thought about it. You're younger than Daryl, right?
Yeah, I'm younger than Daryl by like what? I think that was 52. Yeah, I'm about like 3 or 4 years younger than.
Okay, so now you might was
51. He's 51.
Was Gilly like that? Like in the streets?
Rapping. Yeah, well, I can't say I didn't know him from being in the streets, but I know him from rapping and shit.
But I mean, I'm not saying he was probably a good like local rapper. Obviously his sales don't show that, but I'm just trying to figure because I have a problem when I'm listening, like when rappers rap or talk extremely tough and hard, but then I don't have any receipts.
It was like that. They from North Philly. They from the Badlands. It was like that out there.
So he is like where he, but I'm just, is he?
He's certified. I mean, he ain't no sucker.
No, I'm saying I got that part. Is he a hood nigga or is he a nigga from the hood?
He's a hood nigga.
So he's not just of it; he was in it.
Yeah, and well, a lot of people don't even really want to really. No, excuse me, I can't even talk. Really realize he wrote for Lil Wayne.
Yeah, no, well, I know that part. Wayne's whole style changed. Yeah, we got that part. Yeah, I got that part. Yeah, okay, well, cool.
No, it was like that because even all the niggas he ran with, even all the niggas that he ran with was like that. Like Dutchy Man, the Ace, Spado, all the niggas, they was like that. And you know the nigga Ab Lava that run with the Clips.
Yeah.
The Ab Lava was down with them.
Okay.
He was a major figure. Ab Lava was a major figure.
Okay. All right. I just had to.
They from the Badlands. So you know what I mean? Shit was like that. I mean, Badlands and section of Philly over there by Temple University. Yeah, they was like that.
Now,
like that
wait a minute. Now, that's downtown. That's what it was. What's the Fruitopia area name? Like, what's that thing called? It was a Gabriel. That's where the Gabrielhood is, too, though.
The Gabrielhood is like damn near on the border of South Philly and North Philly. It's right there. But, nah.
Yo, that's a wild Switzerland type moment. That's like wild. I don't ever. Yeah. Now I don't want to go back to Philly. Like, if you're telling me that what's separating me from getting stabbed or killed on one side is the LGBTQTCBY groups. Like that's wild. I didn't know that.
The neighborhood is more of in like the suburb, like a little suburb section. Like they're more so down by, like not far from South Street. They're like about 4 or 5 blocks down from South Street. So around there is kind of a nice neighborhood.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a hotel I was staying at downtown Philly, like about 7 years ago or whatever. When they had that. Oh yeah, you remember when I was up there when they had that major snowstorm?
Uh-huh.
And you had to work. You couldn't come to the Army Navy game.
Yeah.
But like, I went to go have a cigar, and I was like, man, these people like real nice, man. They real fucking friendly around here. And then I look across, like, what the hell is all them fruity, them rainbow ass flags? And then I was taking pictures, and then I looked, you know how you get the little thing on your GPS coordinates on your pictures. And my homegirl was like, "Yeah, you was down there by the Gabrielhood." I'm like, "Come on, you can't say that. It's not called Gabrielhood, but it's really called Gabrielhood. It's really called Gabrielhood.
That's what it's called, the Gabrielhood.
That's wild." But nah, man, I just had to get that. I just had to get some clarity, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, well, because Wallow the only one that got caught.
Now, I know, Wallow has got to be certified because Wallow spent damn near his whole life in jail. But,
Him and Gilly used to run around sticking motherfuckers up.
Okay.
Doing goofy shit.
It's just the reason why I asked is because Wallow's so funny. When Gilly was being dead serious, he was like, and when I was out here robbing niggas, and they was they would leave when I walk out. And he was like, where was I at? He was like, was I in jail? Because he's like, people got real friendly when we came around.
Yeah. Well, he lined his ass off though. He was being sarcastic and smart at the same time.
Okay.
Nah. Yeah, them dudes just running around robbing motherfuckers.
Okay. All right, cool, man. I appreciate that, bro.
All right, cuz.
All right, yeah. That's the beautiful thing about having real family. Me and my cousin Kenny only talk when it's ignorant shit. or real fly shit. So Kenny's who went with me to the Eagles NFC Championship game. I just called him and said, "Yo, I'm in Philly. I got an extra ticket. I need you to come." And he dropped everything he was doing and came. So that's my cousin is a real dude. But my cousin Ken, he's a reformed street dude. Got shot in the ass. But reformed street dude. So I figure he's a little older. But if anybody knew, it would be him, That's the reason why I figured I'd ask. But nah, that's just, but still, we know Cam as whatever you want to say about Cameron Newton. We know Cameron Newton puts paws on people. We seen what he did to Josh Norman. You want to talk about people talk about Cam not falling on a fumble in the Super Bowl, but forget that Super Bowl year started with him choking out Josh Norman, an all-pro DB. So yeah, man, I'm just saying, dog, we got to just chill out.
That's all I have for tonight's show. Any last words to the fans, James?
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all chopping up with me. Please, if you got any donations. This is not Dr. Umar saying that they have shut down they said it was fraudulent activity on my account. They shut it down. Medea and her minions shut my account down. They said it was fraudulent activity. They're coming at me. I cannot pay my light bill for the schools. Now, this is not it. We're really giving out book bags. We're really putting school supplies in. We actually are meeting with, shout out to the Gator Bowl. We're doing I am not stuffing anything, but we're gonna get, this is the coolest thing. My ancestors got to be smiling, and I hope nobody gets offended by this. But Jaden, we're gonna hopefully, are you gonna be able to get up there, Jaden?
Yeah, 9 a.m. to the address you sent me, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're going to videotape white people working for me stuffing book bags. In a nice room, but they're going to be stuffing book bags with a smile on their face and hopefully singing songs to give to little colored kids. Isn't this what Martin Luther King dreamed about? Was beating those white prostitutes for, where he was going through the days or whatever the FBI files were saying. But nah, real talk though, we're going to be doing those things. We're giving this stuff away. We really are trying to impact the community. Last weekend of this, all kinds of cool stuff. Please, if you would, just so people can see that there is good in the world, Jaden's done a great job of making a video, a recap video of last weekend. I'm pretty sure he's going to do something this weekend. If you have a child that wants to get some good instruction, we will have coaches, but we will also have a lot of our Mandarin Mustangs. We'll have, I know Knox is going to be able to do it. I'm pretty sure B5 is going to be working the camp as well. Make sure you guys support that, man. I really appreciate all those different things. Full speed ahead, pushing the tailgate, pushing the games. We're also doing a fantasy football league again, as well as I might do I found this site where we could do college football fantasy. If you're colored, and that means you're a member of the chat, are you interested in doing a college football fantasy football league? Let me know. I think it would be a cool thing to do. And would love to bring that. We'll also have cash prizes. We also have the weekly Pigskin Pick'em, where it's $50 each week, along with the weekly college football Pick'em, where it's $50 a week for those who win the most games, and things of that nature. We're the only show, the only network that actually gives you money for being a subscriber. You can actually you can win that and have enough to be able to pay for your membership for an entire year and then some. So so that's basically all we got. Please stay tuned for more of the different things that are coming up. Please like and subscribe to the channel or the different things. We appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. We will see you guys next time.